Hi, this is Dorothy. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about a tool that I love, which is Google Classroom. I've actually been using Google Classroom for about 5 years with fourth grade and up. And Mr. Thornton just wanted me to kind of show you a little bit about what Google Classroom looks like in the primary grades. So I just want to encourage you that you can do it if we need to, and I'm here to help you all along the way. So, how are teachers using Google Classroom? Well, here's what you'll find helpful with Google Classroom is you've actually already been using Google's most popular tools. You know how to use Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Docs, saving things in your Google Drive, and that's helped you to stay organized and get work done. And these collaboration-friendly tools have revolutionized the way we communicate, work together, and store information online. But not only as administration or as teachers, but actually in the classroom with our students. So beyond COVID, and I completely understand that COVID kind of forced us into this blended learning model, but beyond that, teachers and students had fallen in love with this educational friendly platform way before COVID. Like I said, I've been using it personally for 15 years because teachers saw the benefit of going paperless and that digital collaboration with students. So believe me when I tell you that tens of millions of teachers and students have used Google Classroom in thousands of schools around the world, making it one of the most popular ed tech tools around. And what's exciting is with Google Classroom's growing popularity, more and more already made resources are available at your fingertips. So you're familiar with Teachers Pay Teachers. I love getting resources from there, supporting other teachers. And so it's been exciting because I just did a quick search, typed in Google Classroom, kindergarten, and a lot of great resources came up that you can purchase. And so please don't feel like you have to recreate the wheel. Trust me when I say there are kindergarten teachers that love Google Classroom. There are first grade teachers that love Google Classroom. But whereas I can do more training in the ins and outs and the technical stuff of Google Classroom, I really want this presentation just to be an overview to answer some of those commonly asked questions, beginning with what is Google Classroom and more specifically, how does it look in the primary grades? And I know you're thinking, I can only imagine you're saying, Dorothy, this is not going to work with my little ones, but stay with me because I really think there's some great possibilities. So Google Classroom is essentially a learning platform. Now it's not a complete LMS, but it does allow for work to be easily assigned, completed, and then graded. It also allows for seamless integration with other Google Drive apps. So I mentioned Teachers Pay Teachers. You'll see a resource that used to be maybe a worksheet that they would print off, turn into a digital file, and that digital document can then be attached in Google Classroom and worked on. And so and it's just seamless. So I can show you that. But it's also, Google Classroom has allowed us to maximize that communication and collaboration piece between teachers, students, and parents, regardless of whether we're doing face-to-face instruction. And so I think that's what we're really wanting to get into is how can we, if we want to communicate digitally, do that in the most effective way. So how do teachers use Google Classroom? Well, one thing it does is it helps to streamline how you manage your class. So you have students that join your Google Classroom, and then you're able to utilize those tools like Docs and Drive and Calendar to handle all those class management tasks, such as assigning an assignment, having a student complete an assignment, seeing when they turned in the assignment, and then grading the assignment. And then with it streamlining it, it allows you to even digitally organize, distribute, and collect those assignments online. So you could have literally a handout that you converted to a digital document in your Google Drive. And you can post that assignment in Google Classroom and have your students use it. But because you have that original one, it can be used year after year without you having to go to the copier and make 25 copies and then print all these paper copies and keep up with it and pass out the paper copies. Everything is in Google Classroom and easily accessible. Which brings me to the communication piece. It's very easy on Google Classroom to post announcements and reminders about assignments. It's easy to see who has or hasn't completed their work. You can also check in with individual students privately. You can answer their questions. They can ask questions about a certain assignment, and you can offer your support. Now, when you start thinking about younger students, what teachers do though, when the younger grades is they don't write as much because their students are just learning how to read. And I can actually show you a Chrome extension that can read the text for them, but you'll definitely want to write less. And you'll want to use more videos. And then I'm going to send you a video along with the presentation of a teacher in pre-K who used a daily agenda, which I loved. If you watch the video, it's about 5 minutes, but this daily agenda just literally had her whole activities for the day. Here's what we're doing in math, and then they would click on a video. Here's what we're going to do in language arts, and then they would have an activity to complete. And so Google Classroom was just kind of the warehouse where everything can be stored for your students. And then what's great is that platform allows you to give feedback on their assignments and assessments. So within Google Classroom, you can actually provide quizzes that can be automatically graded. You can also spend less time grading, and then you can get instant feedback to your students when they turn in assignments. So it's really, really cool. So I just want to give you a sneak peek of Google Classroom. So here's a picture of what Google Classroom looks like. You post assignments. You can easily create assignments. You can attach any Google app. Like if you wanted to attach a Google Doc and have students complete it, you can attach a YouTube video and say, I want you to answer this question after watching the YouTube video. You can attach a website. Anything you want, as long as it's a file you can upload or a website you can copy and paste the URL to, you are good to go. So it just allows for a lot of resources to be put into one place. And you also have the benefit of being able to, when you put an assignment in Google Classroom, to tell whether that's in regards to language arts or whether this assignment concerns math. And so I really like that feature as well. So it's a little sneak peek of a Google Classroom assignment. So you would literally just click the plus sign under classwork and you would provide a title for the assignment. You would give students directions. There would be some kind of activity to complete, and then you could attach any additional resources you needed. And again, over here, I just wanted to show you that there are so many activities you could pull from. So just for calendar math, you can see a lot of these are drag and drop, but the student would click onto the file, they would change the clock around, they would add things, they could add money by putting the money in the piggy bank, lots of different things that activities they could do. Then I'm going to stop there with Google Classroom, and then of course I want you to please watch the video, but some upcoming topics that we could discuss would be setting up your Google Classroom, having students join, practicing logging in, how do you post an assignment, converting a paper worksheet into a digital copy, posting an assignment, posting an announcement or posting an assignment, and then grading and providing feedback. So those are all lessons that I could teach you later on. But I also wanted to, in addition to Google Classroom, there's another great tool called SeeSaw. And SeeSaw is essentially very similar to Google Classroom in that it's a learning platform as well. It allows for work to be easily assigned, completed, and then graded. It is seamless in the fact that since it is an app, it can easily allow for videos, pictures, or recordings to be uploaded, since students would be using either an iPhone, an iPad, or via the web. And like Google Classroom, it also provides that digital connection with students and parents as well. But how do teachers use SeeSaw? SeeSaw again streamlines how you manage your class. Once you've uploaded a class roster, students can easily scan a QR code to see their class, find their name, and upload an assignment using the built-in features of an iPhone, iPad, or via the web. Similar to Google Classroom, assignments are digitally organized, they're distributed and collected all via the app. It essentially was designed to be a digital portfolio of student work, and it gives young students an easy way to capture and upload their work. So teachers can easily create an assignment with multimedia features. You can do voice instructions, you can link it to videos, you can do the same in Google Classroom, and you can even add templates, same as you can do in Google Classroom. Then students can draw or upload anything from their camera roll, photos, videos, screenshots, and even projects made in other apps to demonstrate their learning. Also, like Google Classroom, it can communicate with students about their classwork, so teachers can use SeeSaw to post announcements and reminders about assignments, and you can easily do a quick search and see what assignments a student may be missing or has not completed yet. And then you can also post privately comments or answer their questions. And then again, there's also the feedback component. Similar to Google Classroom, SeeSaw allows you to give feedback. So a sneak peek of SeeSaw. So here's kind of the screen, the user interface for SeeSaw. Again, very similar. It allows you to post. You can add assignments, and whereas Google Classroom used topics to organize different assignments, SeeSaw uses folders. So very similar, sneak peek of SeeSaw assignment. You would create an assignment, you would give it a title, directions, an activity to complete, and here's one here, a mystery science mini lesson. And so they would tap the link, watch the video, make sure to stop and think about the questions when asked, and then it shows them that they can actually record their own voice and talk about how germs spread and how washing hands can help prevent students getting sick. And so lots of neat different assignments. Again, I just want to thank you. There's so many, as you dive into Google Classroom, or if you decide to dive into SeeSaw, both can do a lot of great things. And so really, as a teacher or as a grade level, it might be good just to decide, do we want to go with Google Classroom and prepare students for what they'll ultimately be using in upper elementary, or do we want to go with SeeSaw because we think it's more friendly for the primary grades? A lot of teachers have used both either way. And so I'm going to just stop here and be available for some of your questions.